Alright, these are the bicycle escape map commemorative deck. They basically got maps on the face of the cards, which is quite cool. So I've set them all up and had a look online to see if anybody's sort of explained the map. And there's a few people who have like kind of put the map together and show you the map, but they've not really explained it. So I've taken a look for about an hour and a half trying to figure out what it all means. So I'll read it out to you. So escapes from into Switzerland have basically it seems like a very general sort of, you've got information at the top here to explain a sort of general plan. It doesn't show you like you are here kind of thing. It says if you're escaping from the north kind of thing, heading south, it gives you routes from Germany into Switzerland. 2 routes that it thinks are the easiest or the most, reckons you got the highest chance of success taking these routes. So it says escapes into Switzerland have the greatest chance of success if attempted across the frontier of the canton Schaffhausen. I don't know how you pronounce a lot of these words. The canton Schaffhausen, I believe, is away down here on the Queen of Spades. Hold on, let's try and find it again. Or the Jack of Spades. There we are. You can kind of see it there. Schaffhausen. On the Jack of Spades. The region around Lake Constance is to be avoided, right? So this is a general map here. Location map, and this square here is this map. You can see here the lake, what do they call it, Lake Constance. The area around this is to be avoided. You want to get to here basically. I think it's giving you instruction how to get to there, which I believe was the northernmost point of Switzerland that was under Allied control. I believe, I might be wrong, my history isn't very good at all. So it's general instruction from if you're escaping from anywhere in Germany, coming down this way, you want to kind of aim for this, but you want to avoid this. So if you're coming down and you see this, head that way, and down, basically. Let's say a fugitive coming in a southerly direction through the Black Forest should continue, right? So the Black Forest, I looked up online, not everything that's on this is in this map. Black Forest is way further north. I think it's basically anywhere in general up this area, if you're coming through this, should continue until he reaches the line of overland electric cables which runs from Waldshut to Ravensburg, skirting north of the Swiss frontier. Waldshut, I believe, is on the Queen of Clubs. You can kind of see it there. See it there? It says Waldshut. And you'll see, if you look carefully, that little red thing, these go up. See these little red things there? There. I believe this is the electricity line that they're on about. It says they go to where does it say? Ravensburg, Waldshut to Ravensburg. Ravensburg isn't on the map, it's further east. It's either up here or up here. I'm not too sure, I can't remember where it was exactly. My geography is really bad. Where are we at? So yeah, it explains what these pylons look like. These pylons are about 70 to 75 feet. Some of these words are quite hard to read since the black of the club or black of the card is over it. High, of steel, and carries 7 electric cables. So that's like an identifying feature of these pylons. These specific pylons running this way. Should these cables be reached anywhere on the stretch Waldshut to Thengen, which is this area here. So Waldshut to Thengen. Thengen's up this area. So Waldshut along these pylons, which is on the map, to Thengen. I can't pinpoint Thengen on the map, but it is right near Bargen, Bargain, which Bargain's on the map twice, so I was having difficulty to figure out which Bargain's which here. But that's a Bargain and that's a Bargain. So I believe, where did it say? Thengen. I believe Thengen is in this area, somewhere on the map. Maybe it's not marked on the map, maybe it is and I just can't find it. I'm messing it up. But yeah, if you hit this, if you're coming down south here, you'll see this red arrow marker. It's kind of like pointing in this direction. If you've come from anywhere north in Germany and you come down in this area, this general area heading south, you'll hit these pylons. If you hit these pylons in this specific area between these two cities or towns or wherever they are, it should be possible to identify an iron observation tower standing on the top of a wooded hill. The hill itself is the highest of a chain of hills wooded with pine and above pine and beech, possibly it says, trees. The tower has two view platforms, both appearing above the tree level, and is about 100 feet high. On a clear day, it should be seen from a distance of 30 kilometers in a northern or western direction. It is about 3 to 5 miles within Switzerland and is known as the Schleitheimer Randenturm. So I'm not too sure how you pronounce that, right? The position is approximately, it gives you a Latin long there. I am not clued up on how to read Latin longs on this map. But I have still identified it. So it stands on the summit of a hill marked on maps as being 891 meters high. So I've managed to find it. So you've got what's it called? Waldshut here. The pylons go along here. If you come along this from the north and you hit this pylon, you should be able to see this hill here. That's the hill. It's on about 891 meters high. Oh, I'm messing the map up. 891 meters high. You should be able to see it from the north or northwest, which is along this way. And that's where the pylons are. You see this red route. It's telling you to. It kind of recommends taking that route to this area. The best course would be to walk towards this until it is judged to be about 3 to 5 miles away. With the frontier will be close. Unknown. I don't know what that says. Obviously, there's clubs on it. The highest point the easiest point to cross from lies, I'm not too sure, lies northwest of the tower, where the river Wutak, I'm not too sure how you pronounce that. I can kind of, if you come along this red line again, the river, I believe, is somewhere around here. I don't think rivers aren't marked on the map in blue, so I'm not too sure. It is quite difficult to read. A lot of these are, if you look at it, kind of faded and blurred and blotchy. But I'll do my best. Which forms the frontier at this stretch. Runs beside. So I'm not too sure because a lot of this isn't making sense because there's clubs in the way. Which forms the frontier at this stretch. Runs beside the railway line between Wiesen Station and Stadthaingen. So Wiesen Station. There. Somewhere in this area. And it's saying you want to cross, I think this is the river here. Because I think Wuta, the actual city, is like way up there somewhere. And it's a river that runs. I'm not too sure if this black thing is the river. It looks like roads, to be honest, but I think there will be roads running next to the rivers. So I think the train station is somewhere near here. You can see the pylons cross that area. 6 of diamonds is a card. important card here. And then you'll want to be heading towards this. So you want to cross it near this area, across the river. Yeah, the river runs through a forest on either side, but there is a narrow belt of open fields immediately on the riverbank, so that's another identifying feature. It would be advisable to lurk in the cover of the forest until after dark and then cross the fields and river under cover of darkness. The river itself is narrow and no more than 3 feet deep when it is fullest. Smugglers and local inhabitants crossing here something secretly favour this stretch of the frontier. So these are all instructions, like they're numbered instructions or paragraphs for immediately north of the river. There is a good chance to cross the frontier. Something where in the something. I'm not too sure what that says, but it sounds like it could be important or very useful. Should the electric cable line referred to in paragraph 2 be reached anywhere between Thang and Ravensburg, what was it called? It said over here. Ravensburg. It should be possible to sight 2 volcanic hills, Hohenstoff something, which gives you a height there, I believe, high position approximately, and it gives you another Latin long here, and the Hohentwill 688 meters high position approximately. So again, I'm not too sure how you read these, but I think Hohenstoffer, I think possibly around here, but it might also be off the map. So you can see there's another red line here coming down, and I think it's either here, these hills it's on about, these 2 hills, these prominent hills, or it's slightly off the map on this area. These 2 hills rise from the surrounding plain and form landmarks visible for a distance of 60 kilometers in clear weather from a northeastern or northwestern direction. They are, however, still in Germany, and they themselves must be avoided as German OPs, observation posts, are stationed there. Having found these hills, the next point to identify would be the 2 parallel chimneys of the brickyards at Lawn, lying west. So it says lying west. This threw me off. I thought it meant lying west of these hills, which would be around about here somewhere, Lawn. I can't find Lawn on the map identified anywhere. However, it is, I believe, south of Bargain. So Bargain's here. It's like south east of Bargain. So I think Lawn is around about here somewhere, which still sort of, this arrow still goes through. So it's either here, around this area. Again, I don't know if like a lot of these names are in German. I don't know if they're translated. I think they are. I've no idea, to be honest. But Lawn, I managed to find it on the map. It's near T. To be honest, I've no idea. It's around this area, but it might be slightly off the map on this side as well. Line west. They are inside Swiss territory and would be the point to make for. It's really difficult to read that because the jack's on top. Should the 2 volcanic hills be sighted by the fugitive west of his position, he would, of course, have to pass the hills before he would be able to sight the factory chimneys. So they're saying there, if you see these hills on your west, that means that you're somewhere further east. You have to go through these hills or around these hills, but you know that these hills are German territory. How are you, it gives you the best way to do it before you can see these chimneys. In this case, the best chance of avoiding detection would be to pass westwards through something between the two hills, and then try to something and aim for the factory chimneys. On no account should the railway line Schaffhausen to the south be crossed, as the course of the frontier then becomes complicated, and it would be possible to cross into Switzerland and then immediately back into Germany through ignorance of the frontier. There are also two salients of German territory, Buzzingen and Weeks, completely surrounded by Swiss territory inside the canton Schaffhausen. As soon as a fugitive is reasonably sure he is in Switzerland, he should make himself known to Swiss peasants. His recovery, or I'm not too sure what that says, will almost certainly be good. I have no idea. Will almost certainly be good. Reception will almost certainly be good, and the danger of wandering something into German territory would be avoided. Number 10, the stretch of frontier around the Ramsen salient is also the stretch from Erzingen westwards to the Rhine. Must be avoided. Something wire charged with electric current has been erected. So basically wire fence, electric fence has been erected in that area. So that's an identifying feature. Polish prisoners are now working on many farms and roads in southwestern Germany. They wear yellow armband marked Polen something Nestgefanger or something like that. So you can identify where you are roughly in Germany, possibly based on these Polish workers. Southwestern Germany was somewhere, well, kind of in this area, so also down here. But yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite a good. It doesn't like say like you are here kind of thing. It just gives you sort of a lot more sort of area awareness. That's the map explained. One thing as well, it is an accurate map of the area. I can I found on Google Maps the area. Here it is.